Access granted.
Hey, Adam. Maybe whoever
Last night, the collective published the tax returns of the 50 richest people in Switzerland. It made for some very interesting reading.
Q. But they're never going to be the time they broadcast that sweatshop.
Jensen, we need to talk.
Most likely eyewitnesses were smashed in the explosion.
Are you two actually praising the collective?
We're comparing notes. If we don't learn the way these people think, we'll never track them down.
What I hear, the explosives were designed to get maximum spread. Dana's relies on public perception.
This is so
Smart move. They don't want to be caught in the dragnet. I'd love to get a look at the bonfire myself, but nice. On our show. No, that's not consistent with the train station. Preemptive action would be great.
You think one of them would pop
Access
up on
granted.
some list somewhere?
I'd rather not say what this one.
You think one of them would pop up?
Composition could tell us a lot, but it's the trigger that really does it.
These guys might as well be
As
ghosts.
opposed to conducting an actual investigation. Dana's relies on public perception.
Maybe it's a cliche that in order to catch a criminal, you have to think like one, but it also happens to be true.
How's security over there?
Ah, the elusive Radical Nicolazzi. This guy's a piece of work,
Is it or is it
driven
not a
and
probable
ruthless.
target?
When he came up, he was the youngest boss in the Diwali crime family. The man spends more money on suits than most people spend on their houses. But don't let the looks in the haute couture fool you. He's the boss, he's in control, and he's squashed more than a few people who've tried to take him down along the way.
First thing you learn to have. Second, is good soldier.
Smart move. They don't want to be
Ah, the Diwali called this guy Constantine. Like that's supposed to be intimidating, right?
Just wish someone would
We don't have a last name for Constantine, but until his death in the Rizika bombing, he was a high-placed member of the Diwali crime family, answering to Otar Botkavelli. We suspect he has lots of connections in the upper echelons of the organization, all the way up to Rajesh Nicolazzi and beyond. Between you and me, I suspect that he's a Khan, a spy that watches a Diwali lieutenant closely to make sure he doesn't make a move on the boss.
Patience is the first.
Here we go, the Church of the Machine God, and to some, the Church of the Machine, without the God. And then again, to others, the Singularity Church of the Machine God. This group has so many names and subgroups, it's hard to keep track. And believe it or not, they've been around in one form or another since the early 1970s.
I don't even know where to
There are
start
a
with
lot of
theorizing
contradictory
percentages.
reports on who they are and what they want, but in general, they all want the same thing. They want to merge their consciousnesses and become one with the machine god through a
guys
ritual
might
they
as well
call
be
They're saying it was faulty
ascension.
wiring.
I'm sorry, we're all in strung
The
out
Church
shape.
of the Machine God has a leader, but all we know about her at this point is that she's a woman and they call her mother. That's creepy, right? I think that's
I'd love to
weird.
get a look at the bomb site
Run
myself,
DNA
but
checks
no
through all the
dice, not our
alphabet
show.
agencies.
There's a rumor that the Church of the Machine God is building a machine that will help bring forth the singularity. Sure, I guess that's a possibility. I'm just not sure what they would plug that machine into.
Stay at home, so someone composition could tell us a lot.
Dr.
but it's the
Talos
trigger that
Rucker,
really does the talking.
former Lynn Clinic doctor and current leader of the Augmented Rights Coalition. Rucker has chosen to leave
think
his
one of
native
them would
Germany and to
pop
live in the
up on the
Utrecht
list
complex near Prague as a protest to draw attention to the upcoming Human Restoration Act vote. Rucker is a pacifist and believes that what is happening in Prague is what will happen all over the world if the Restoration Act becomes law.
They've been everywhere for the past week.
Patience is the first thing you learn to have. Second, it's a good soft chair.
Negative.
You've heard of
Saying it
these
was
guys.
faulty wiring.
ARC, or the Augmented Rights Coalition. They're a human rights group who, on the surface at least, is trying to provide equal rights for augmented people. It was started by Dr. Talos Rucker soon after the AUG incident, when Rucker started to speak out against the anti-AUG legislation that was being passed by several local governments. If you ask me, it's not working. Things seem to be getting worse. ARC preaches non-violence, but a string of terror attacks has put them on the terror watch list. So I'll let you be the judge.
Preemptive action would be great if we knew where to start.
Samizdat is an underground news outlet that likes to think of itself as the real news. They are anti-establishment and anti-almost everything else, including business addresses, so we like to keep our eyes and ears open for any mention of them.
These guys might as
The
well
New
be
Sons of Freedom, or NSF, is a small group of militant constitutionalists and secessionists operating in the continental United States, particularly in the Pacific Northwest. The group was formed as a reaction to the American government's increasingly authoritarian regime. NSF is committed to fighting the influence and control of a group of unknown people they believe to be the Illuminati with strategic guerrilla warfare strikes. They are suspected of having ties with Janus and the Juggernaut
There
Collective.
isn't much here to go on.
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list.
You know as much as I do about these guys. They're augmented, well-trained, and very dangerous. And they seem to be massing weapons and AUGs for some sort of
I'd love to
attack.
get a look at the
We
bonfire
don't know
myself,
what.
but it's a cover dice, not our show.
This is so weird. Right now, I think my blood is about 60% caffeinated.
I would have thought you'd had your fill of these guys since Dubai, Jensen.
Negative.
The Jinn,
Saying it was
a group of
faulty
smugglers led by twin brothers, Salar and Wazim Alam. Their exact base of operations is unknown, but it's most likely these guys. The brothers Alam have been in operation since 2020 and have greatly expanded their operations since then, recruiting mercenaries,
is it not a
ex-military,
probable target?
nationalistic agitators, and other colorful criminal agitators from Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and the surrounding region. They deal in drugs, weapons, medical implants, AUGs, and they occasionally throw in
I'd
some
love to
human
get a look at
trafficking.
the bond site myself, but no dice, not our show.
I'll nail it. Patience is the first thing you learn to have.
I like cereal. Like deep down, they all want to be talking.
What I hear, the explosives were designed to get maximum spread.
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
Right now, I think my blood is about 60%.
Composition can tell us
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access denied.
preemptive action would be great.
I'd rather not say what this reminds me of.
So weird.
That's all the data I have right now.
I just wish someone would nut up and take the blame.
Security over there.
There's something here, I'll find it. Fucking job. Who the fuck are you?
Is it or is it not a probable target?
Details recovered from the black box recorder suggest that the man may have been suffering flashbacks to the AUG incident. That horrible day 2 years ago when augmented people all over the world flew into a psychotic killing spree, causing the greatest loss of life in recent history. I cannot speak for you folks, but terrifying memories of that day still haunt me. It will certainly be a while before any of us forget it. This is Eliza Casella, reporting to you live from Picus. Exclusive.
Access granted.
Security. These are the greatest concerns of the digital age, and we at Palisade Property Bank have made addressing those concerns priority one. Information archived within the walls of Palisade Property Bank. It's beyond the legal jurisdiction of any government. Assured anonymity. Palisade Bank Corporation is now and forever will be the best secure corporate archiving company in the world.
I don't even know where to start with theorizing percentages.
Around the clock, around the world. Always watching, because you are always watching.
Composition could tell us a lot, but it's the trigger that really does the talking.
Spilling on my lids.
Most likely eyewitnesses were smashed in the explosion. I highly doubt
You think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere?
negative. You're saying it was faulty wire related?
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Preemptive action would be great.
This is so weird. How now?
They're posturing, as opposed to conducting an actual investigation.
Right now, I think my blood is about 60.
Is it or is it not a probable target?
DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing.
They're like serial killers. Deep down, they all want to talk.
Just wish someone would nut up and take the blame. Anomaly detected.
These guys might have
Trace program initiated. Access
What I
denied.
heard, the explosives were designed to get maximum spread.
The Prime Minister has cancelled all public appearances for the rest of this week.
I think Singh's got some kind of adrenaline addiction. He plays it too.
It is Jensen, yes?
If it had been anyone but Jensen on the ground, Singh would be dead. Well, you know what? I think you're right.
And elected a 12-year-old boy as president.
I guess the transit authority isn't in as much of a hurry as you are.
Agent Jensen!
Yes, millions of workers quit their jobs when the collective leaked classified corporate documents, causing several Fortune 500 companies to go bankrupt.
God.
Between you and me, folks, the collective is one of the most dangerous criminal organizations in the world. Despite whatever praise
You think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere?
This is Eliza Kassan, reporting to you live from Picus. Ariel is constantly bringing you the best and latest technology. Our portable data center, massive storage capacity, flexible screens,
This is so weird.
1,000 other unique and patented features. Ariel, up the tracks. Back to New York, and a more in-depth look at UN Security Council Resolution 3507, also known as the Human Restoration
These
Act.
guys might as well be
This
ghosts.
legislation is passed.
It is Jensen.
Look, I'm going as fast as I can.
Right now, I think my blood is about 60.
They're like serial killers.
Just wish someone would nut up and take
DNA
the
checks
blame.
through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing.
Anomaly detected. Trace access granted.
Preemptive action would be great if we knew where to start.
Right now, I think my blood is about 60% caffeine.
State police are playing stingy with sharing evidence.
Close my eyes, but all I see is street
There's something here I'll find.
How now?
I'd rather not say what this
You
reminds
think
me
one of
of.
them would
Jensen,
pop up on
we
some
need to
list?
talk. My God, Jensen, I heard about the explosion. We should relocate. I was thinking we could corner Director Miller together. Tell him it's not safe enough here.
We're fine, Chang.
The police station, the train station, we're next. I can feel it. I can more than feel it. I can see it happening.
No one knows where we are. There's no reason to get paranoid.
That's where you're wrong. They're trying to pull the lid off of us, Jensen, or someone is. Praha Dovos just got hacked.
Our building's front company. Thought it was fake.
I wish it was fake. Miller's got me cleaning up IntelliCam footage from the attack to help figure out who these people are. Meanwhile, maybe they're trying to figure out who we are? Why else poke into an import company?
You think someone's figured out that the company's a front? Maybe they know what's really down here.
We have a lot of enemies. The people who bombed the train station. You don't think they'd love to know where we are? You need to help me figure out who's looking into us and make them stop.
All right, you have any leads?
I traced our hacker snoop to an unrented apartment. Top floor, 33 Halavni. Just down the street. This guy walks by us every single day. Probably walks in.
You're kidding.
See? You feel it now. The constant buried alive feeling? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought we were supposed to be suspicious of things that go on outside these walls.
It's never that simple.
Just get into that apartment, access the computer they used, and find out what you can. And be careful, Jensen. We don't know who we're dealing with.
I'll look into it. As soon as I know something, so will you.
Be careful out there.
We're advising people to stay at home.
No dice, not our show.
That's all the data I have right
If we want to catch Janus, we're going to have to get creative because nothing we're currently doing works. Is it or is it not a probable target?
What I need you to do is listen.
Run DNA checks through all the operations.
Nothing. Purity First is an anti-aug group dedicated to keeping humans human. All pure, no augmentations. In their obsessive pursuit of this goal, they have taken extreme measures and are suspected of being responsible for multiple acts of breaking and entering, vandalism, and theft. On occasion, they've even become violent, being implicated in several assaults and murders as they push for their goal of human purity. They've been quiet since the incident.
Run DNA checks through all the operations.
Agent Jensen! Agent Singh. Wasn't expecting to see you again. In civvies, at least.
Just passing through. I wanted to thank your team for the backup in Dubai. That sting went to hell faster than the storm did.
You're welcome. But I don't think you came all this way to say thanks.
Director Miller asked me to get Agent McCready up to speed. Now I have the red-eye flight back to Oman.
Headed into the field office there?
Not exactly. One of our black sites. I'll be dropped in as a captured enemy combatant. After I contact my fellow Jinn prisoners, I shall lead a very convenient escape.
Re-embedding with the Jinn. Aren't you taking a big risk, given everything that happened?
No choice. I would feel safer if we'd been able to shut down that signal booster at the hotel. But I would feel safer if I took the test job. You see is what I do. We need to find out who hit us. And the Jinn will be looking too.
Could they get a bead on our gate crashers faster than TF-29?
Perhaps. They do not like loose ends. An augmented kill squad with military training. Have you ever seen anything like it?
Yeah, once. But it's a long story. Whoever they were, they knew exactly when the deal was going down. Any chance they were based locally, in Dubai?
No. After the incident, Dubai became the world's most luxurious tombstone. Perfect for the Jinn, but for no one else.
I thought human augmentation was frowned on in the Middle East. Why was Dubai hit so hard?
Because it was another world. Two other worlds, in fact. One of extreme augmentations in gold or crystal, and one of thousands of workers outfitted for construction. Then, that day.
I know.
No, Agent Jensen, you could not. Some called it divine punishment. But that day was not the work of a merciful God.
Did we get anything out of the cleanup operation?
Mostly corpses. Heavily augmented, as you know. Under those gold masks, they were ID scrubbed. No prints, no dentals, no DNA match. Professional.
Could still be ex-Bell Tower. Plenty of men and material went AWOL after the incident. A competing faction that listened in on Shepard's sale.
It's a possibility. The audits and investigations of Bell Tower will go on for years before we know how many rats jumped from that ship. At least we recovered the weapons. Unlisted. High spec. Military-grade augmentation. Enough to build another couple of you. That is a joke.
Right. It's the world we live in. Anyone with an exemption to the weaponized augment ban is a useful tool. Or a terrorist. I don't envy what you've got ahead of you.
Actually, I'm looking forward to it. The truth is, when you've been under for long enough, you only feel like an imposter out here. In the real world.
Yeah, I understand the feeling.
Information archived within the walls of Palisade.
It is Jensen, yes?
Is beyond the legal jurisdiction of
I'm scheduled to return from the dead at 0:30 Omani time.
operation is now and forever will be.
Is there something I can help you with, Agent?
I hear you're on point looking into the gold mask mercs that hit us in Dubai. Any leads yet?
Christ, I know I'm good, Jensen, but I've only been on it for 5 minutes.
A lot can happen in 5 minutes, McCready. You checked with the ME yet? Get anything off the bodies we recovered?
Leftovers are on ice at the Oman substation. I've been told they were scrubbed clean as summer whites. No prints, no dental, no nothing.
So in other words, it's no steps forward and 2 steps back.
For now. Singh may be able to dig up more for me once he's back in Basra with the Jinn. Just hope his cover isn't fucked, since you couldn't be bothered to disable that comms booster.
The way I remember the briefing, McCready, disabling the comms booster wasn't the op. Stopping the sale of black market weapons and AUGs was.
Fair enough, Jensen. You got me there. Anyways, look. With Singh's contacts in the desert, maybe something will ping on these gold-masked jokers and we'll nail them quick. Probably just another fucking jihad looking to make some noise.
I don't know. I'm not so sure we should be looking for these guys in the desert.
Ah, is that so? You have some new information you feel like sharing?
Come on, McCready. These guys were augmented with military-grade hardware. Body augmentation goes against Muslim beliefs. They weren't jihadists. We're dealing with something new here.
I can see where you're going with this, Jensen, and I'm asking you right now to back off it. It's not your case.
Come on, McCready, we're not a couple of beat cops filling a monthly quota here. This isn't about whose collar it is. It's about getting the people responsible. Full stop.
Look, I get what you're saying, but I'm working a $5 investigation on 50 cents worth of shit. I've got speculation to spare, mate. Listen, I know I come off strong. I've got 3 ex-wives that'll back that up. But that's just how I'm built. Putting on a show for the new guys, I'm gonna change what's underneath.
I can appreciate that kind of honesty.
Good. So when I say I'm impressed with how you handled yourself in Dubai, you can appreciate that I meant it. With that sandstorm giving us colonics, stripping the juice box out the chopper was an inspired choice. But that mission is over, and your involvement in it ends now. Got it?
Yeah. But tell me, why do you think the bodies from Dubai were sent to Oman?
Fuck knows. Rumor is that Oman was pissed that we got the green light for the gig in the first place. Can't blame them, really.
You don't think it's strange we got the call over them?
I stopped questioning the logic of the big noise a long time ago. What I'm told is we were the only team ready to go.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
So then you know what I know. Got everything?
How the hell did you get such a sunny disposition anyway, McCready?
Knowing about me is not going to make us friends, Jensen. But I'll humor you. Fine. I joined regular army straight out of secondary school, made UKSF at 25 and was recruited into the SRR 4 years later.
Special Reconnaissance Regiment. That's an elite unit.
Oh yeah, it was very glamorous. All champagne and blowjobs.
So what happened?
After 12 years hunting terrorist shitbirds across every desert on the face of the earth, I found there was no fucking end to the evil this world churned out. I couldn't see the point in what we were doing anymore. So I quit.
So what brought you back to the life?
I suppose it was purpose. A tool without a job to do can only grow rust. So here I am, back in it, serving my purpose. As a tool yourself, mate, you should understand that, yeah?
Yeah, I got it. It was nice talking to you, McCready.
No, it wasn't.
Many of us forget it. This is Eliza Kassan.
These are the greatest concerns of the digital age, and we at Palisade Property Bank have made addressing those concerns priority one. Information
I'm in the middle of something, Agent.
Palisade Property Bank is beyond
Agent Jensen!
This
is so weird.
assured anonymity.
I should probably shut that down.
Palisade Bank Corporation is now and forever will be the best secure corporate archiving company in the world.
Around the clock, around the world. Always watching.
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
Look, I'm going as fast as I can.
Turning now to Prague, a city still reeling in the wake of a devastating terror attack. Dozens were killed and hundreds more injured yesterday when bombs exploded inside Ruska train stations. I do not need to remind you folks.
I've run DNA checks through all the outlets.
I guess the transit authority
Access
isn't
granted.
in as hurry as you are.
All of them occurring after Dr. Talis Rucker, leader of the Augmented Rights Coalition, took up residence in the neighboring Udalek complex.
I hate this. I really hate
Dr.
this.
Rucker claims his organization is peaceful and merely seeks
It is Jensen,
rights.
yes? These guys might as well be ghosts.
God, man.
Agent Jensen!
Retreat into my skull.
Urgent. Katerina Noyan to Agent Cree's office. Agent Noyan, report to Agent Cree. Fully urgent.
God, my eyes want to retreat into my skull.
It is Jensen, yes?
Here are our top stories.
State police says they're still hauling up bodies. Exfil is impossible. Totally overrun.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
We never got an official okay from the Indonesians, so... All the data I have...
Smart move. You don't want to be caught stuff in the wearing of his eyes.
Russia, attacked combat drones attack the same data.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program access granted.